Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Chronicles Dallas Cowboy podcast, and we're back again with myself, Troy Hill, and Kyle, and Lisa Lee, and we're here today to discuss the Dallas Cowboys draft, 2024 draft, of how their picks were and what we think about it overall. Let's go ahead and go with Kyle first. What was your overall impression of the draft?
I'm okay with it. I feel like they like we said they were going to have to draft for need. We said that, and
Yes.
they did. And I thought everything they drafted made sense, but the lack of a certain draft pick did not make sense. The running back position, but
Yes.
they needed a left tackle. They needed an interior offensive lineman. I guess the plan is to maybe try him out at center. Defensive end, I mean, you're not getting much in this term of sacks from DeMarcus Lawrence. So it's like, all right, and he's got 1 year left in his contract. So it's probably time to. And you lost Dorrance, you lost Fowler. So you need a depth there. You know what I mean? So I think that was a, solid pick. And, linebacker is going to linebacker depth. They'll play probably some special teams too. So
Yes.
I thought it was, I thought the first four picks were solid.
Yeah, see, to me, the first four picks, I had no problem with it all. And then, because I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, well, certainly they're going to, try and do some running back action in day two and stuff. I mean, that was just in not day two, but in day three, I thought for sure, I just feel kind of disappointed because I feel like they were just trying to get too damn cute again with just trying to just trying to make deals and everything. I think they just felt like they're just getting a little too cute. And I feel like it, especially the seventh pick, they had two guys that were still there that was pretty damn decent to pick as a running back, and they just kind of didn't pick them. So then I thought, maybe they're gonna wait until it's to the unsigned free agent part comes, and they might be able to pick up at least one of these guys. And they still didn't do anything. They picked up a guy that no one's ever heard of in the history of football. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Lisa Lee?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The draft I didn't have any really high expectations going in just because the Joneses are still in charge. So at the end of the day, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit kind of thing. But I didn't have high expectations. So none of these draft picks really moved the needle for me to get me emotionally reinvested again. But I mean, the Tyler Guyton pick, I have an issue with because where they were sitting at 24 before they traded back, Graham Barton was available. I don't know, their grades, but y'all had to talk me off the ledge. Basically, Will McClay and his group they're really good at picking first round offensive linemen. Okay, cool. Yeah. I don't like spending a first round draft pick on what I believe might be a project with Tyler Guyton. He's built a lot like Tyron. I mean, maybe not as muscular, but Tyron was pretty lean like that. I mean, he was just really, really tall when he came in. So I have hope maybe because he's long. I mean, you look at his build, Tyler Guyton is who I'm talking about. He's built to be a tackle. He's got that long wingspan. And so I feel like the potential is there. I'm just not sure how I felt about taking a project piece for the first round pick. But I mean, now looking at it overall, you really drafted for some of the holes that you had, but then also mainly for depth.
Yes,
you needed to get some depth in there on offensive line. And like you guys said about, or like Kyle said about, BB, they're saying most likely he will compete to play center.
Yes.
But then could move to guard down the road. Well, let's be honest, Zach Martin's, he gets hurt, I don't think he's far from retiring too.
Yeah.
And so
he's got 1 year left as well.
Yeah. So to have his kind of heir apparent, okay. But the one that really threw me was the second round pick to take an end, an edge. That didn't make any sense. But this article that I'm looking at right now, it said, this seems like a Mike Zimmer pick all the way. So maybe that's, I don't know. It didn't move the needle for me that much at all.
in defense of Tyler Guyton, like it's funny because we were all saying the same things when they drafted what's a Tyler Smith. You know what I mean? Like
That's very
Fair.
true.
we were literally all saying this guy from this small school who holds 10 times a game, like, and he's our and they developed him into, like I said, when Zach Martin retires, he'll be the cornerstone of that line. Let's be real here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
and
That's a good point.
Like I give you, I'm with you. Like you can be skeptical, and I am too, but I've heard guys like Brian Bronis and Bobby Belt say right now in his career, they said he's not as raw as Tyler Smith was when Tyler Smith got drafted by Dallas. That's what he says. He's like, he's more NFL ready at this point than he was at that
And
point.
I
You know what I mean?
think
So,
he's like 20. Isn't
yeah, like
he
I
really
said,
young?
yeah, he's young. So
21 maybe. Well,
But,
and the other
you know,
thing I go back to too is like on that same line, like it's funny how, and this is what we address it all the time about people think, including us, like we have our opinions, and when we're wrong, we're wrong. I saw a video it came up on my Facebook from the year that Micah was drafted, and I was live on Facebook at the time, and I was like, please, please, please don't let this. I was talking live as the corners, because the Cowboys wanted the corners that year. They wanted Pat Surtain or the one from that went to, he was from West Virginia. I mean,
Carolina, J.C. Horn.
Yeah, J.C. Horn. Yeah, so those are the two they wanted, and then they went like right before we were going to pick, and then they traded back and let Philadelphia get ahead of them, and so I'm commentating on that, and I was like, I don't know what this pick is going to be, but I really hope it's not Micah Parsons. And I was like going in on how much I hoped it was not Micah Parsons. And then I went and I got offline, and then I came back later and I was like, listen, I read some more about him and maybe I'm wrong about him. And so I want to say all that to say, like, these are our assessments right now. I didn't watch every single game that OU played last year. Matter of fact, I probably didn't even watch one whole one, except for maybe Texas OU. So me having my assessment of Tyler Guyton is based on a lot of pundits' opinions, so take it with a grain of salt, but
Well, see, that I think that's what's the great thing is about our program, because it's all just casual conversation, and we all have our opinions, and as you're right, it is just kind of like an assessment of what we currently see based off what we've been told, based off some of the video that we might have been able to see or whatever on these players. So, I think it's okay.
I mean, I was dead wrong about Micah Parsons. Let me just clear that up. Like,
there was a lot of people, but I remember a lot of people were complaining about why we drafted him and stuff. I can't remember what I thought at that particular time, but I mean, a lot of people. But that's the Cowboy thing, When they talk about, well, this is what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for. Damn it, this is what we're looking for. And all of a sudden, they don't do that. The first round, you're like, oh, hell no. I mean, now it's like, you convinced me we needed this. And now I don't want that. What you just giving us anymore. So, I think that's kind of guilt of the media, because it was talked about at that time that was all corner. And these were the guys. We must get one of these guys, so.
And I think had Denver not surprised them and taken Pat Surtain, I do think that would have been the pick. And Micah Parsons would be playing elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be giving his 2 cents on everything else for another damn team.
You know what else, Dallas? Dallas also didn't want him because he was technically a linebacker. You know what I mean? He was drafted as a linebacker, and everyone like, who the hell wants another first-round linebacker? You know what I mean? That's
right.
He didn't really come out as a defensive end. You know what I mean? And no one knew who was going to be this guy until DeMarcus Lawrence broke his foot week 2. He was a linebacker. You know what I mean? And then he just he changed positions, and rest is history. But I think that plays a lot of part of it too. Is the fans? The fans wanted a corner, and they drafted a linebacker. So
right. Well, and we never know, truthfully. Like, I mean, we don't really know. Nobody's in that room. We don't know what they really wanted. We don't. I mean, even like this draft, we heard that they were leaning towards Graham Barton, but then let Jerry tell it. They're going to take Jonathan Brooks with their first pick in the second round. Now, granted, he didn't get that far, but that's the other part of the lack of running back selection, is because that once Jonathan Brooks went, there was kind of a little bit of a run on running backs, and the names that were gone fairly quickly after that. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be real honest. Like, I would have loved to have Jonathan Brooks, but I didn't want to take him in the second round. I feel like we have bigger needs than that right now.
Yeah, but he was still hurt though, anyways, right? He would have.
You would have to trade up to get him too. I'm not God knows what they had to get up to get up there. You know.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, you were going to get him at the bottom of the second for sure. And I didn't want to give up any assets to move up to get him.
Yeah.
But he's going to be really good. I feel like. But
even though we don't know what he's going to come back like, because he's not going to be like actually able to play until like October, right?
They said he'll probably be ready for training camp.
Oh wow!
I think so. I think that's the one I was listening to that said he'd be ready. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
See, I was thinking about more of these like lower tier running backs, like the Dylan Johnsons of the world. I would have been happy one of those with a 7, and then we didn't even do that. So. I mean, I don't know who the hell this Nate Pete guy is,
Yeah.
But his stats match up almost identical with the numbers from last season's production with another person we brought back earlier today. I mean, you guys better look out. There's going to be a running back battle between Ezekiel Elliott and Nate Pete. I just don't.
Royce Freeman.
Yeah, Royce Freeman. I don't get any of it.
It's just so uninspiring. Like I just feel like, oh my God, why? This guy hasn't been good in years. Like, why? And like I said, we talked about it earlier. It's a marketing move. It's to get some favor because they know this team sat out free agency. They said no, we're tapping out, not going to participate in free agency. They had a so-so draft, and like, you know what? Let's boost morale. Let's sign Zeke, get the fans back on our side. Like, maybe for like the teenagers out there, but it doesn't work for a guy like me. Like, it's a 29-year-old running back. I'm not excited for this.
There's grown ass men. I'm gonna tell you right now. There's some grown ass whole ass men, in their 40s and stuff. Celebrating this morning or whatever. Like the return. It was like the return of Christ. I mean, I'm telling you, it's crazy, and I don't get any of it. I mean, I think, man, I love Zeke Elliott. I think he's great. Great dude, fun. I mean, I enjoy those memories, but I don't want to try and revisit with Zeke Elliott. With 3 wheels and stuff. He ain't the ssame player ananymore. And it is what it is.
It's bad business. It's almost like they gave this contract at a charity. Come on back, Zeke. We'll give you $3 million, even though you're already costing us $6 million. Come on back and be a Cowboy. Come on, don't you want to just reignite those flames? And it's like it's just bad business, and it's bad for the team. It's not helping the team. I'm sorry, it's not. It's 2.9 yards per attempt is not helping the team. It's just not.
What do you think, Lisa Lee? Are you excited?
I mean, I love him. I do. I mean, I love him. I love his energy. I especially love his mother. She's the greatest Twitter follow in the history of Twitter, because there will be moments where she will be like, I have time today. And she goes in on the fans that we talk about all the time that will like tag her in some, like when he would have a bad game, people would tag her in a post and she would be like, I have time today. And then she would like go in, and it's great. I love them. I don't love this move just because, like Kyle said, I don't know that it adds. I don't know that it adds any value. And I felt like all along, like I'm as sentimental as anyone. I love the fact that, I love the story in this one. Like I like that he and Dak are best friends and they're going to be back playing together. But again, it doesn't move the needle from a reinvesting for me standpoint, because had they signed Derrick Henry, the needle would have moved a little bit.
That's a whole different thing. It's something fresh and new. I mean, some people can argue, well, level of production's almost the same, but I would really rather give a shot on something that I'm not 100% sure about. It's something I know is going to happen. I mean, the only season that Zeke's going to rush for over 1,000 yards next season will be me when I play him in Madden. That'll be the only one time he's going to get 1,000 yards. He's not getting it. He's not getting it.
We've used terms like this before. Progress stopper. That's what he is. Like you're not going to develop anybody if Zeke's back there. You know what I mean? Like we used to always bitch about Jason Witten coming back and playing when he was not productive. He's progress stopping Dalton Schultz. He's progress stopping this guy. He's at this point, like, why? I said, like I said, this guy, career lows across the board. He was literally one of the quite possibly he was yards per attempt last year, the worst running back, the worst.
Yeah.
Like I don't see, like, if I called you up right now and said, all right, are you interested in my running back? He's 29. It's coming off career low this, career that. He ranked last in almost every category. $3 million. You signing up for that, Troy?
No,
Lisa.
hell no.
Absolutely.
Okay,
not.
Lisa. He's on a historic decline.
No.
Worse than league. You
Hard
signed
pass.
$3 million. You interested?
Hard pass.
Okay.
I don't know, but I don't know. After all, I could go. I could unpack my Ezekiel Elliott jersey for a year.
He's going to take a roster spot. He's not going to play special teams. We know that. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't catch balls out the backfield anymore. We know that. His best strength, if you even call it that anymore, is run blocking or pass protection. I'm sorry, pass protection. Like, who's signing into that for $3 million? Oh, by the way, he's already costing you $6 million. So, like I said, we all three of us are passing on this, right? Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So what? That's my point.
I mean, the thing is, again, it has nothing to do with it being Zeke, because I think we all like Zeke in one way or another. But I mean, from a business standpoint, and for as far as dealing with performance, it does absolutely nothing.
Exactly. That's my point.
I mean, all
for
this
business
does
and performance, it does nothing.
All this does is gives people a reason to dig out an old jersey and maybe have a bobblehead night and stuff.
In the feed season, hashtag.
That's all. We can get some free feed Zeke stickers and shit. And I mean, I don't.
But there were the games that I went to last year. There were lots of Zeke jerseys still in the stands.
They still love them. Yeah. My only other thing is, like, and this is where the Joneses are so hypocritical. They could have squashed this whole shit 2 years ago they could have basically restructured his contract or avoided his contract and said, all right, we're going to pay you, we're ripping this up, and you can play for us for $5 million. But do you remember what they said last year? They didn't want to insult him. They didn't want to insult him, right? But yet this year, 1 year later, they're paying him $3 million. What's the difference? That's my point. Like, you could have done this last year and you wouldn't have dead cap because you would have ripped up his contract and offered him, hey, Zeke, we can't pay you this. We can't pay you $15 million because we know you're not worth that. We'll pay you $3 million for 2023, and we'll see where we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to insult him. But what?
And I think part of that insult, the part of them not wanting to insult him is I think they wanted him to see, like, okay, go test free agency and see if you can get more money. And I don't know what his deal was in New England.
It was like I think 3 or 4 with the guaranteed or something. Yeah.
So, like, I think they let him go so that he could test free agency. Well, it turns out nobody it's like that.
That's what I'm saying.
That ship has sailed. But yeah, had you done that last year, you could have we wouldn't
be talking about this. But like I said, they didn't want to insult him last year with a low ball offer. But this year they did. This year it's okay to give him a low ball offer. It's just like I said, it's not good business. This is not good business. I don't get it.
No, I'll never get it. But like I said, I don't know. I mean, percentages, 55-60% of the fan base is excited and skipping everywhere they went today over this nonsense. And I just don't. When is it? I think which might be a whole other conversation. When does it click in a fan's brain that a player that they love just can't go no more? I mean, when does that really happen?
This fan base, there's a whole section of them. It's never going to happen.
Never. There are people who still would think Romo could have got there and perform, and Des Bryant, like, dude.
Well, yeah, it's true about Des. That's certainly people think that shit. He got to at least be our tight end.
Yeah. This is gains 30 pounds and play position he's never played before. Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, where he didn't have the skill set to play his own position, and he's really supposed to. I mean, he was just based off of pure athleticism and strength, So now, I don't. that's always been fascinating to me. It's just like, oh shit, I bet your Romo could still go. I mean, shit.
The problem is most fans can't separate the love for the players from the business side. And I've gotten like, I'll admit, I used to be that way a little bit, but like, I've gotten so cold-hearted with these players. Like, it's just like, if you're not living up to contract, and I got no use for you. You know me, man. Like, I've been on that give it to Zeke. They should have done that shit years ago. Same with DeMarcus Lawrence. Like, they were paying him $20 plus million. The guy averages 5 sacks a year. Okay, he's a run stopper. Run stoppers don't make $20 million a year. I'm sorry. You don't pay a run stopper $20 million a year. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You're paying for sacks, and you're not giving sacks. So why is he on the roster? That's just me. I'm not hanging out the guys too long because Jerry Jones is too sentimental, and to offer don't want to insult him. Kind of take a pay cut.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous about when you just put in perspective on how many different contracts and things been kind of just dragged out where it could have been, I mean, like we've talked before, was all the times that they just could have just made a move and signed so and so or restructured at this particular time, and now they're just paying for it all the way across the damn board. And all those credit card bills are starting to add up. Now all of a sudden, and it's just frustrating. But I mean, to me, I back to the draft stuff. I thought the draft was okay, but just those last couple of picks where I thought they were gonna maybe go into the running back direction, it kind of just pissed me off at that point. And at least asked me the question. What was a couple of days ago? I'm like, well, if they pick up at least these two guys, or whatever the case may be, an undrafted free agents, I would be okay with the draft. You're like, will you, Troy? I was like, I start thinking about it. I'm like, well, they didn't. I'm like, fuck, I'm still pissed. I'm pissed off because I thought if they would have did it that way, I'm like, okay, so now they're trying to take things a little more seriously because they can sign these guys for pennies, and we can move on. We can save more money for next year, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we can make some big moves in free agency next year. But no, of course not. They weren't doing that. They were picking up some guy that literally nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw one highlight of the guy, and my theory about highlights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you got highlights and stuff, you also got lowlights also, so you got enough tape for either or. But I mean, I don't know. You guys think they're done with the running game at this point?
They can't be. I mean, if that's the case, they might as well just forfeit the whole season. Well, you can't put a team on Dak's shoulders.
Jerry Jones says this signing Zeke doesn't preclude them from trading in the middle of the season. Like they had the opportunity last year to get Derrick Henry, but they didn't do that. They didn't pull the trigger last year. When have they ever traded for a player of significance in the middle of the season? Jerry Jones said they could. Yeah, they could this year.
They're going to trade who? Zeke in the middle of the season?
No, Dallas could acquire somebody by trading for a running back.
Yeah,
that's what Jerry said.
Yeah, who's going to be, like you said, who's going to be available?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they had the opportunity last year with Derrick Henry. He was available for trade last year. They didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, he was on the trading block. That's for damn sure.
All right. So, but this year, Jerry might do it. He says, there's a possibility. Yeah, right. You wouldn't do it last year when we had the best team in years. Why do I think you're going to do it this year? Look at the caliber of players you're signing. You know what I mean? Like, you got any faith you're going to do it? Come on, man.
To me, it's all like you even think about going back to the Zeke thing again. All of a sudden, this shit's announced right before the draft when, everybody's expecting us to try and pick some running back. Jerry's probably sitting in his office drinking a scotch or whatever the fuck he drinks.
Johnny Walker Blue.
We'll start dangling out the Zeke and stuff. No one's going to be thinking about a running back during the...
Exactly.
I mean, nobody's going to be thinking about it. I mean, that's probably true. I mean, it's just a combination of him just being crazy and some of our fan base being delusional. This is a combination of all that shit that makes this thing so damn goofy.
To me, he looked really old in this year's draft, Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to me, he's aged a lot. And, like, one time he was reaching for the phone and his hand kind of had tremors. And I'm like, it's time. It's time for you to retire, sir.
Yeah, he's been a lot of lately, too. More ums than normal.
Ums and
So
doodles. I mean, what's he doodling, for Christ's sakes? You know what I mean? Like, he's just
Well,
he
and
needs to doodle us a damn running back.
yeah, I don't get it. I don't like I watched a lot of the draft because I was working this weekend, but I can watch it on I watch, I have YouTube TV, so I was watching it on my phone and like none. I mean, you saw some of the other owners, like I saw the Texans owner get on the phone a couple times and then but like you don't see him front and center. It goes back to what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. It's typically the GM, which, you know, of for good, bad, or indifferent, that's who he is here. But like it'll be the GM calling the player, and then it'll be from the GM to the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the owner sometimes gets involved, but not usually. Only on like the first, few picks, the first round picks. But it's just so backwards here.
well, you know who his like basically his mentor and idol was, right? Al Davis. Do you remember how Al Davis ran those Raiders teams?
Yeah.
He looked like a crypt keeper those last few years, and he was running that team, and they were
to the ground,
They
basically.
That's my point. That's my point. They were getting a new coach, hiring and firing a new coach every other year. Terrible draft picks because Al Davis only wanted speed, and no one could check him because he was the owner GM. There was no checks and balances. Jerry, I hate to say it, but Jerry will run this team literally till he is in the grave. Literally, no matter how bad it gets. Like you're
Jesus, you think it'll be? You think it's gonna be that bad where it's going to be basically,
Al Davis? Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Jesus,
I think so.
Also, player picks up the phone. Hey, this is Jerry Jones. Welcome to the boo.
Yeah, exactly.
You think it'll literally be that damn bad? Wow.
I do. Yes, 100%. Yes.
Unless they have him. I mean, and I don't think they're going to have he would have to become like super, like it would almost have to be like a diagnosis of like dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever. And they would have him committed. But other than that, I agree with Kyle 100%.
Well, he did say our team's the 24th best team in the league.
Yeah, it is the 24th.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's saying more and more outlandish shit. You know what I mean? Like he's just, I don't know, man. I'm not saying he's completely incompetent, but he's not as sharp as what he used to be. If you ever want to say that, but
I don't know. He still hasn't outdone it because remember 5 years ago he said he's out for that glory hole. So I mean, because he hasn't went that bad since then. I'm out for that glory hole.
Yeah.
So, Jesus, Jerry. It's like I feel bad about talking about the guy, I think that's where some fans get kind of mad and stuff, but shit, it's not like we're lying.
No, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, it's just, I just want this thing to work, because you guys talking about him running, his days are numbered. Hell, what about us? Our days are numbered too. I mean, shit. I think I got a lot of tread. I mean, I don't got much tread on the tire left myself.
Right.
So I definitely want to see a couple of Super Bowls before I die. I mean,
yeah, like I want it now that I have disposable income to really enjoy it. Like, and I live down here. Like, I was 20. I mean, I was 22 the last time they won it. I didn't have disposable income at that point. I mean, I was working, but I didn't have enough to. I was at a Super Bowl party, but I didn't have time. I wasn't down here and couldn't go to like the parade or anything like that. And I just don't. As long as I don't think it's gonna happen.
Jesus, that's some really sad sounding stuff.
It sounds sad, but like what the track record speaks for itself. I mean, it's.
Then you got Steven right after him. It's like he doesn't want to spend a damn dime.
Yeah.
And just remember that we used to think this is going to be the guy and this is going to be great because of a couple signings here and him choking out his damn dad when he was trying to get on the phone and welcome Johnny Manziel to the Cowboys or however the story went.
But they had a couple of run-ins, like even when he signed Dion without him asking, like Steven grabbed him by the lapel and like shoved him up against a wall. Like that's the kind of shit I need right now. I
Yeah.
need anyone to fight back.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
to
I
grab,
mean, you got,
just to grab somebody by the throat in the damn war room. No.
yeah, he traded a fourth round pick for Trey Lance without telling anybody. Didn't tell the coach. Didn't tell the starting quarterback. He just traded a
Yeah,
fourth round pick for Trey Lance.
that is
Didn't tell
so damn,
anybody. Like what
so
the
damn
hell?
bizarre. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I did a thing earlier. You know how
Yeah,
you know how everybody's like on Instagram.
yeah,
I did a thing today,
yeah,
guys. I traded that fourth round
yeah.
pick for Trey Lance.
When every other bum quarterback from that team is going for 6th and 7th round picks, we're giving up 4th. So, you know what I mean? Like, dude, that's what I'm talking about. It's just,
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see no end in sight.
There's no aggressive. Do you guys notice that he's just not aggressive anymore? Like even look at the Eagles, right? We talk about this all the time. The Eagles. Howie Roseman made 8 trades on draft day, most in NFL history. He went up. He got arguably the 2 of the 3 best cornerbacks in the 1st and 2nd round because those are the guys he wanted. You know what I mean? Like Howie's not fucking around. He's doing what it takes. Well, Jerry's, we'll sit back. We'll trade back. We'll take what's on the board. We'll take what's over left. And if Van Barnes there, we'll take it. If not, you're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
It's too much mom and pop shop bullshit. You know, I keep on joking about like there was this Andy Griffith backing up the damn Miracle Salve Wonder Tonic cart. That's what I feel like it is every time. It was like nobody calls this team wanting to play for this team. So I mean, so if he was smart enough, he understood that shit. You know, if he was like Jerry of the '90s, he would have been like, "Oh fuck that, I'm calling all these people." You know, but he's just sitting there just waiting. You know,
that's what I'm saying. At least he just alluded to it. We wanted 2 cornerbacks that 1 year. We got Micah Parsons, right? Yeah. Why aren't we aggressive? You know, if you want some, go get them. You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. It worked out in the long run because Micah Parsons is what he is. But like, that fell in their lap. Let's be real here. You know what I mean? That fell in their lap.
Yeah, even a blind squirrel finds a nut on occasion. Like
exactly.
that was not skill. That was like panic. And you could see it. And that's what I said on my live video. Like you could see the panic.
Yes.
Because like the 2 corners were gone. Philly traded up. And then I think there was one more pick after Philly before we picked. And they panned the draft coverage panned to the war room. There was no one in there except for Charlotte.
Jesus.
Like they panicked. And it was like, okay, now what? And it's like, you know, just the asininity is not a word, but I use it a lot.
yeah.
But of like they accidentally leaked the draft board 1 year because Jerry was an idiot and was like wanted to do an interview or something right there, and the draft board was literally right behind him. And it's just you can't make this up.
No, it
just seems like it's just not. Well, even the pre-draft stuff. Did anybody sense any bit of urgency during that interview? Did you sense any bit of seriousness between Steven and Jerry Jones when they were talking? You know,
no.
it just seemed like they were just having a good damn time or whatever. You know, like, oh shucks, look at us, we got another draft coming up. You know, it just. I just want people to take things serious when it comes to this damn thing.
It's just bizarre, man. Like, it's and it's almost like you could go. And I don't know about you guys, but you can almost point to 2 things that made this team the way they are. And I hate to say it, but it's like Brandon Carr signing and then Mo Claiborne moving up. Ever since then, this team has been they don't move up and they don't sign anybody. That was like 10 fucking years ago, 12 years ago. Like, you gotta get over it. You've got to get over that. Like, come on, man. Like, that shit happens. You gotta move on. They're petrified of making that same mistake. Like, hey, man, I get it, but you gotta at least try.
No, man, I'd rather have a team make mistakes, shaking some chances, especially on that draft board, versus not doing any damn thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and it's just, God, Brandon Carr. That's just funny and stuff. I mean, he probably had maybe 4 interceptions the time he was here, but yeah, he was carjacking people. All right.
Carjack.
Yeah, just carjack. I mean, just the stupid shit that got the Warrior. Was it the Hot Boys? Where the hell? I mean, come up with the lamest shit for a bunch of damn do nothing people. It just pisses me off. It's not the Hot Boys. How's that make you? How's that make you feel, Lisa Lee?
I want to rip my eyelids off.
Yeah, well, you ain't gonna go out and get yourself a Hot Boys
What?
T-shirt with the Cowboys elite defense on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite things to send in the group chat, the Hot Boys logo.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you subsequently will follow that with the taco pic, which also sends me into orbit.
Oh, he's a original founding member of the Hot Boys. Come on, Taco.
Yep. Come on, everybody. Everybody likes a free taco after a Cowboys victory. You know, me and my kids, we go every Cowboy victory, get our free tacos from Taco Bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me that's when everything started going downhill. Where I felt like where we didn't draft T.J. Watt. I mean, I think that's a large part of it there because I think everybody on earth thought like when we saw that he dropped to us, or it was like a no-brainer, like amongst everybody in the world. And then, except Jason Garrett, you know what? I'm gonna do something. This is what I'm gonna think out the box today and do this. The day that you don't think out the box, just so many mistakes with this damn team. And now we got Zeke coming back.
and Damian Wilson.
Oh yeah. Can't forget about him. Yep, can't forget about him.
Did you guys see on Instagram Dallas posted the new numbers of the season? They have the nerve to put Martavis Bryant, his jersey number, as if he's gonna see the field for one snap in the regular season. Martavis Bryant. Like, are you kidding me right now? You felt it necessary to post his number change?
Yeah, it's what do you guys think Zeke's number is gonna be?
I could care less.
Because that
why wouldn't he go back to 21?
I think he wanted 15. Doesn't he want 15 because of his Ohio State days? I don't know.
Maybe.
He was 15 in New England, so.
We didn't re-sign Stephon, did we?
No, he's still out there.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Insanity to me. Like, I get it. He's older, but I feel like he played well last year.
I thought he played good too. I agree.
I thought for what it was, I thought he played great. I mean, he stood
100%.
up. Yeah, he stepped up in a couple of games, and
you
know what? I'd roll. If the price is right, hell yeah, I'd roll. I mean, of course, I'm not going to pay him. It's not going to be. It's going to be some veteran minimum type stuff action going on. But
if the price was going to be high, he wouldn't still be on the market.
Well, let's put it this way. If you had $3 million to spend, you spent $3 million on Zeke or $3 million on Gilmore. I'm spending on Gilmore.
100%.
I'm spending on Gilmore as well too.
I agree because you're right. He had some games. He had that one game where he shut down AJ Brown. Remember AJ Brown called him old in pregame warmups or some shit?
Yeah,
he shut his ass down.
Yeah, he shut up. Yeah, you're right. But
he was good last year.
But half our fan base doesn't remember that.
Yeah.
Did we beat Philly twice last year?
Or
did we split?
No, we lost the first.
We lost the first one, but it was close. I think, right?
It was real close.
And the second game, he kicked their ass.
Yeah, the one here.
Yeah.
Because my friend came all the way from. He lives in Washington D.C. and he's a Philly fan, and he came and he was like, "Let me take you to lunch." I was like, "Ugh, gross!" And it was the day of the game, and he was all in Philly gear from head to toe, and we're in a restaurant over in Arlington. Everybody's looking at me like, "Why are you with him?" I was like, "It's a charity case. Like, I don't even know." But he talked so much trash, and so at lunch, he was like, "We should make a bet." And I was like, "Okay, what? $20?" He was like, "Oh no." I said $100, and he was like, "Sure." Man, I was like, as soon as the fourth quarter there were like 2 minutes to go, I was like, I'll expect that cash app as soon as the game goes final. I got 2 cash apps that day.
No, ain't nothing wrong with that. I just wish we just had an answer, because it just seems like they did the bare minimum at this point to try.
Does it feel like there's something else going on, like something a little bit nefarious? I'm like, you're almost trying to lose. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
No, I agree.
There's
100%
some
agree.
kind of weird undertone. I'm like, you're not even pretending to care at this point.
Yeah, it just seems like it's like you had a chore to do, and you know you did it half-assed, but you're gonna still try and justify to your parents you did the correct thing. It's like, oh yeah, I took out the trash outside, but I didn't take it all the way to the trash can. I just left it in the backyard. When I walk back later, I plan on taking it further. It's like stupid shit. It's like they're playing a damn game, man.
It's like they have a closet full of really, really good players that nobody knows about, and on opening day, they're just going to roll out there with them. Except for that's not real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how they're acting. It's like, ooh, we're going to show you.
Or they got like the super serum, superpower serum. They're going to inject our players.
Yeah. It goes back to Troy's complaining about the running back position. Like, this is something, let's be real here. They should have addressed last year. And not with a draft pick for a guy who's 5'2", 150 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, they knew Pollard was on a 1-year deal. They knew, let's be real, they knew they were not going to sign Pollard, right? They knew it. So they had to have known they were coming into this year with Gowdle and what's his face, Malik Davis. And then so you should have been planning this shit last year. That way, a rookie running back last year would have a year under his belt this year. He'd be the starter. It goes back to Dallas being a charity case. Like, all right, we're gonna draft your son because he come on, man. Like, you're right. Lisa, I agree. It was a good story. It was a great story. But like, how is it helping the team?
It's not. It's not.
Running back last in the 6th round, and they completely ignored it in this year's draft. Like, what are they expecting? Like,
shit. You guys are sitting there thinking when you're watching this thing, okay, they're finally getting to address it now at this point. Because, it just seemed like it just made 100% sense. Okay, 7th round, they're going to try and do something running back wise easily now. I just felt like I was that kid, hoping my mom was going to drop us off at McDonald's for lunch, but no, she passed like 15 McDonald's just to still take us home and make us like some fucking lame ass hamburgers. That's what it felt like.
It's like we're like the home for wayward kids.
Yeah. It's just, it's almost like, remember, it just goes to show they literally put no value on that position anymore. And I get it. Like, I'm not spending a 1st round pick on a running back. I'm not signing anybody to a $12 million contract, but like, you got to put some kind of resources into it. 2nd, 3rd, go get a guy for $6 million. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do something. They're just,
I thought they wanted a running back with size, and if somebody was classified as a downhill runner. Well, when the draft ended, they still had like 2 or 3 of those out there. Now, they might not be earth burners or anything like that, but they probably still would end up being better than what we had. So I don't. At this point, I think that's the thing that's really frustrating is when you can see things out there that's better than what we have, and they don't even do that. We're going to one up, and we're not going to do better than what we have. We're going to even do worse than what we have by signing Nathaniel Pete.
Well, and I think the other part that's really hard for me is like, you do see what these other teams are doing, like Philly and even Washington and the Giants even, and you see how their front offices are handling things. And there are some other front offices that I think made some wacky decisions, but nothing like that it was a joke, like we were. Like Rich Eisen, I was watching the NFL Network broadcast, and Rich goes, Cowboys are coming up. Wonder what they're going to do. Like, he was saying it in that sing-songy tone. Like, Jerry is an actual joke to the entire league.
Like, you saw the meme today about the Zeke memes. Like, it was all over the internet today, the Zeke memes. It was like, oh my God. Like, they become a joke. Jerry has made this team a joke with his move. At least with his moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, I hate that I feel like I have to keep on saying this because everybody will say we're haters. We like Ezekiel. We like Ezekiel Elliott. We just don't want him on the team no more. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hell, I love the Chicago Bulls, but I don't want to see Michael Jordan suit up anytime again soon. Can't we just let go of things? Jesus. Who you got winning a race? Tony Dorsett, Emmitt Smith, or Zeke Elliott right now? Like today? I'm just kidding. Zeke Elliott would still kill him, but still.
But yeah, that's exactly the thing. Like, who can play today? Let's line them up and see. I just it's disgusting. I'm so. My brother called me yesterday, and he's like, "How do you feel about your draft?" Same way I felt about it on Wednesday of last week. Nothing. I have no. And he was like, "You seem very dead inside." I am very dead inside. They broke me on January the 15th or 14th, whatever day that was. They broke me. Like, I am not over it, and they have not done anything since March to make me get over it. And even all my friends that like to talk trash, I'm like, okay. Like, I don't even fight back.
Damn, you're that far into it now?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And if there was anything I was good at, it was trash talk. I need all the rest of these Dallas teams to get their shit together so I have something to talk trash about.
Yeah. Yeah, see, nobody really talks trash to me about it, the Cowboys or anything. I mean, I usually just go for their mom after I was like, after I was going to talk about their mama.
Oh, yeah, I can always shut it down. But, like, I don't have a leg to stand on right now. Like, what am I going to say? We got Nate Pete. Watch out.
It's You're right. And it sucks when literally every other team in your division has been making moves. I mean,
every team in our division got better this weekend.
The Eagles just signed, the Eagles, despite all the money they spent, they just signed another offensive lineman just today, this morning, Mekhi Becton. Like they $5 million, like, and
extended AJ.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like they but Dallas, look at Jerry's crying poor. He wants to leave the fall. He wants more. He wants more contracts to get out, so he'll end up paying more. I think he enjoys paying more. He wants more receivers. He wants Justin Jefferson's contract to be the highest paid, so he can, I guess, shell out more money to CeeDee Lamb.
and just still the slick shit they try and say after the fact. He's already still saying, we utilized our first round pick for Trey Lance. They're talking about he was already a pick to begin with for this. I'm just like, shut the hell up, Jerry. Just shut the hell up. I mean, if
how's that fourth round pick working out for you?
Shit, nobody knows because nobody's ever seen this man do anything except hold a clipboard in a Cowboy jersey. So nobody could tell you. I mean, I don't get any of it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Like all the little to me they're like sneak dissing Dak every time they mention his name. They just kind of just sit to me. It's just like they've got the whole thing set up to where they could blow this thing up after this year. For what reason? I have zero clue.
It is like, it's like they're gonna. It feels very much like that one post. One of the posts that we made fun of today was like, it is kind of like a swan song. Like, bring the band all back for one final farewell tour, and then we're gonna blow the whole thing up. Like, I can't imagine what else it could be. I can't, because you did not do one. See, if you needed more weapons or more, maybe you would dress it a little bit with your offensive line. But if you say, if your assessment of the way last season ended was Dak needs more weapons, you didn't do anything.
It wasn't that you can't argue that though. We had the number one offense in the league last year.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
the problem was the defense. The defense shit the bed in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Against good teams. They couldn't stop Buffalo. They had the lead, and then against Miami, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys had what happened? A minute and a half left. Miami walked right down the field. It wasn't the weapons. It was the defense.
Yeah, I mean,
they're playing safeties out there, linebackers. They can't stop the run up the middle. I mean, but yeah, you're right. They're going to disguise it as Dak's problem. Weapons. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that. You can't argue with the fact that it was the highest scoring number one offense in the league.
Yeah.
Or we can't sign defense because Dak's contract is so big. Or but Dak's contract could have been more manageable had you done it in March.
Yep,
exactly.
They place everything to fall on him. And at this point, all they've done is one thing, building your team to compete, is another thing to build your team just to qualify. And that's what they're doing. Is it built their team to qualify. I know this is like when they tell you, you got to have X amount of players for you to qualify to do such, this, that, or the other. That's what the Cowboys are doing right now. They're just plugging holes to say, okay, we got what we need to participate this year.
Yeah, we got a guy.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
yeah. Don't worry about that. I know a guy. So we got a team. All right. Okay, we can, and we got everybody. We'll just go ahead and put him in a company T-shirt so he can play on the softball team too. I mean,
I know a guy.
He
played football a couple years ago. Yeah, he's
Well, you're missing a guy for the bowling squad for work or whatever. Okay, we can bring Jimmy. Jimmy, he did this. He never bowled before, but hell, he used to bake cookies over at the damn Annie M's. I mean, shit, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Throw him a T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's all stupid, man. But I think that's it has to be what they're doing. Because what's going to happen next year, Bill Belichick's going to be the coach of this team or some crazy shit like that.
Mark, listen, you can put this, you can save it, you can replay it. I promise you, if that's who ends up being the coach here, I am hard pass. I feel like I will be out.
But Jerry got his finger on the pulse of what the people want. and they just brought back Zeke. So you can already see, you can see people, there's a lot of people who still hold a lot of weight to Bill Belichick. A lot of weight. Typical Cowboy fans that want Zeke back. But there's people that do. Yeah, just watch. You can see him out there with his little half sweatshirt or whatever the hell he wears. Little hoodie.
Well, he even said that, that his camp kind of said the only team he would coach for would be this one.
Wow.
Mm. Oh, I don't think you're wrong about it happening, unless the only way Mike gets to keep his job is, but my thing about Bill Belichick is, doesn't he want too much control? Won't he want too much control?
Publicly, he's saying he doesn't need it. He's saying that he just wants to coach. That's what he's saying publicly. That's what he told Atlanta. He told Atlanta he doesn't need control. He just wants to coach.
Shit.
I think the team to watch for him is New York Giants. I think because he started his career there with the Giants. I did hear that he would love to go back to New York, kind of finish where it all started.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know.
He might enjoy retirement. Some of those guys, they get those boos like Bill Cowher. Do you remember how long people thought Bill Cowher was going to come back to NFL? Dude, he had a nice, cushy job on CBS, and he loved it. One day a week of work, and that was it.
Yeah.
He looks like 70-something years old.
Yeah, Bill Cowher, though, I think it got to a point too, the game kind of probably passed him by as well.
Yeah.
Great coach though, Jesus.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's all I got for Cowboy Talk this week. And if you're listening to this program, we like to thank you. Just listen to our casual conversation. You're more than welcome to pull up a chair and sit and join us and ask questions and whatnot. And we would love to answer your questions on the air. Got a good guy named Joel's asked us a couple questions the last couple of weeks that we answered and stuff on the air. And we're working on having him on the show actually to be a guest host for one evening and stuff, and kind of go over these things we talk about the Cowboys and stuff. It's always fun. You have anything final you'd like to say to the people, Lisa?
No.
Jesus.
Wow. No. The people that are listening, I adore you. Even though I don't know you, I adore you. That's part of the only thing that kind of keeps me sane in this crazy Cowboy season that we're in. And season, not the actual football season. This time with the owners and the Joneses running things the way they are. It's a weird time. So I definitely appreciate you guys. Whoever, Joel from Sacramento, and who's the other one? The lady
Paula from she's from Texas, Dallas area somewhere.
Paula from Texas. We appreciate you guys. And I've asked it, as much as it pains me, I did ask my brother in Houston, would he be willing to come on? And I want to hear, I've talked about the differences in what Houston did, but yesterday, I'll give this one last bit. And then Houston's draft was not sexy. It was not flashy. It was nothing but adding depth. And you can do that when you've addressed every single one of your needs in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And the tone, like the outlook and the hope and the excitement that they have for their upcoming season is one that I don't have, and I haven't had for a while. Here we are. So yeah, Debbie Downer. Here she
You are
is.
down.
Right
Yeah,
here.
you are down and out, man. I don't think I've ever heard you.
I
In the
know.
5 years we've been doing this, be this like just
Like despondent, just really like.
Oh, this is a new side of you, Lisa.
I'm telling you, they broke me.
I feel you. I'm just at the point where I'm laughing it off. Like I just can't help but laugh at the stupid shit they do. Like it pisses me off. Like it pisses off Troy, but like it's like one of those things where I can't help but just laugh at it because it's so comical. You know what I mean? Like their fuck ups are so comical. You know? It's just
no. It's literally to me. It's literally the Jim Carrey guy from Liar Liar. Where he's like sitting there, like he's like, I had better. He's like laughing, looking in the mirror or whatever. But I'm like all in and brushing my teeth, and I giggle a little bit. Then I'm driving to work in traffic, all in.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like every time I see one of these shitty signings, I'm like, oh, all in. Got a 12-year, 10-year veteran who hasn't played in a year of linebacker. All in, all in.
Yeah, we should change our podcast name to All In.
All in.
Dallas Cowboy. All in Dallas Cowboy podcast. Well, I mean, that's all we got. We'll be back again real soon. Or probably maybe like a week or two. We'll come back and see if there's anything. I'm sure Starstruck wants to talk about the draft some. So we'll probably have another one, but we're gonna spread things out a little bit here between now in the regular season, I'm supposing, or we'll see anyways. You never know. You might see us back with some other shit, so who knows? But
yeah, with that big free agent signing that we don't know about yet.
Well, you never know, man. It's going to be some excitement across the city when we sign that 35-year-old washed-up player that has not been good for the last 2 seasons, but he might need new surroundings, and Dallas is the place to be because we know how to rebuild and stuff. People, problem players and stuff too. So anybody, if you got a team where if you know somebody's been like body slam some women on some guns made out of a sofa made out of guns and stuff, give us a phone number so we can have Jerry call them because we can, sacks coming, all in. What would he get? Like 3 sacks out of that whole damn deal?
Dude, I was just reading an article. One of those random like 5 worst, trades or signings during Jerry, and that was number 1. I'm like, that was so bad signing Greg Hardy to this team.
Yeah,
that was such a bad signing. Oh,
yeah, because sacks was the only problem we had on our team at that time.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, good old
Remember who did he knock the clipboard out of their hand on the sideline, and Jerry called him a leader for it. Oh, he's passionate, he's a leader. Who the hell's Clay? He knocked the clipboard out of one of the coach's hands, and I forget.
Was it Marinelli? Or no, was
it a special teams coach maybe? Or like a defensive lines coach, but
was it Eberflus before he left?
Eberflus. It might have been. And then Jerry's like, oh, he's a leader. I'm like, that's
he's
a leader?
Vocal.
Like what? Dude.
Yeah, no, he's batshit crazy.
Dude.
That dude. No, it was like one of those dudes where you hear stories and stuff, and you'd be like, oh, that's probably just some bullshit. That guy ain't did nothing. Then when you start seeing and looking at it, you kind of see like his eyes or whatever, the story that his eyes might tell. He'd be like, yo, that dude's crazy as shit.
Yep.
Yeah, he's kind of, he had that look.
That's why I think it's so funny. He gets his ass kicked in his MMA fights. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Go wait. Does he do bare knuckle fighting now or some shit now?
Yes. Like get his ass kicked.
God, there's no conditions on earth that I'm doing bare knuckle any damn thing. Can you imagine how hard that hurt shit just hurts getting punched in the head just bare fisted? Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I don't like to scrap like that, but some people are just built and wired to where they need that type of combat in their lives. Not me. But you want to do some bare knuckle fighting, Lisa?
Yep. And the funniest part about it is, like, I'm out there probably I was out there last Friday. I was, 100 yards from the headquarters. I was like, let me just walk over there and see if I can get in. Let me just create my own press pass and just walk right in.
You walk in with confidence, they won't suspect a thing. You gotta be confident about it. As long as you know the place.
Yeah.
I'm like, they'll never suspect anything.
Yeah, you would get cuffed up and Jerry would be like, she walked in here with confidence, let her free. Here, you can sit right with me, Lisa Lee.
You want to make the call?
Yeah, you make a call.
Yes, but can we dial a different number, Pumpkin? I don't want that one. I could be like a little kid. I don't want that one.
You had to
kind of turn in the card. You scratch it off, put your own name on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the gumption, set her free. All right. Well, we're out. We'll see you guys next time. And on the famous words of Jimmy Johnson, how about them Cowboys? Yeah.
Was Jimmy